Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the NBA Front Office Show. It's Friday. You know what that means.
Front Office Friday! Friday before a holiday week edition. I don't know.
That's right. Friday before turkey time edition.
Sure, we'll take it.
We'll go with it. We'll make it work.
I was running out of ideas here. I don't know.
You set the bar high, but now you have to come up with something every single
every time.
Every time you got to come up with something. That's right. I guess this is our final Front Office Friday before Thanksgiving. We've got that coming up next week. Will you guys be live on Black Friday? That's something we have to. I'm going to be traveling that day, so it may be a little. It may have to be a little bit later if we do it that day. We will figure it out though. If we have to do like a Front Office Saturday or something like that, we will figure it out. For that
we'll have a live show for you sometime next week.
Yeah. And yes, I do have the right background this time for the show. I'm glad
we were scrambling yesterday. It was a not our most fun way to do our shows.
No. Although here's this question: love y'all's show, but stop using AI.
He's talking about the image you posted on Twitter.
The image I posted on Twitter.
Yeah, with this show, you posted a little cartoon of us.
I didn't even know that was AI.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't either till someone.
I'm seeing the comments now. Someone sent that to us. So people are all upset about it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
man?
it's apparently the whole thing that's like there's like an AI program you can use that all that specific artist's works. So yeah.
Someone sent that to us like what? 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was before the summer. Yeah,
I was tweeting out the link to the show and thought I'm going to throw a picture in it. So I just searched my phone for like Front Office, seeing if I could find a decent picture to use, and that one popped up. I went, oh, you know what? I don't think I ever used this for much, so we're going to throw it out there. And now you've got people saying, oh, AI. I honestly didn't even know it was AI. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, we'll get there. Tom says, it's Front Office Saturday every week here in Australia. G'day, mate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
There we go.
Let's go here. Oh, what are your plans? Trevor traveling. Yeah, huge trade is going to go down that day. I'm leaving Monday and I'll be back Friday. I'll be at my in-laws for a bit. So yeah. So I will be doing a little bit of traveling. So we know when the trade's going to go down. Let's get
another one here. Greetings from the UK.
Welcome in.
Good day, mate.
That doesn't work for the UK. You can't just say good day to everyone. Like somebody comes in from the Philippines. Good day. You're just going to use it.
But they all speak English and they're not in the United States, so it's all Australian.
It's all good day.
All right, fine. Hello, governor.
There we go.
Welcome in. Grab yourself a pint.
Oh, our show is off to a great start. All right. We've got plenty to get into here. Happy to see you all in.
JJ Castillo asks plans on Thanksgiving.
What's that?
JJ Castillo asks plans on Thanksgiving. And I mean, Thanksgiving, but then I'm going to go watch BYU and Miami play down the road at Disney. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Pretty excited. Yeah, AJ DeBonza time. Let's go.
I'm just gonna be hanging out, eating some food, doing all that. Probably watch some football and do all that. So a number of people are asking right now about the Lakers and the Dodgers situation, with Dodgers execs becoming consultants or advisors for the Lakers. Right after this, I've got Anthony Witrata, one of our Dodger Blue guys, is going to jump on over on Lakers Nation with me, and we'll put something out, and we're going to break down more of what it means. I want to get the perspective from the Dodgers guys who cover that team on a daily basis, of what that's going to mean ultimately, and what this could mean for the Lakers. So that's coming. We'll discuss that when we get kind of the insight from the Dodgers side of things. So that's coming over on Lakers Nation in just a little bit. After I record this, I'm going to go do that. All right.
Hey, let's go. I just want to go something serious for a minute here. Elijah Johnson says, you guys, Lakers Nation, Lakers Collective, helped me get through grief and depression. Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, we had any part to play in that. that makes me happy, but hang in there, man. It'll get better. It always does. It's never quite as bad as it seems. And, use your people, talk to your folks, pick up the phone, call a friend, call somebody, take care of yourself, man. It's never that bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we can be any part of a, distraction or alleviation to any of the stresses of life, then we are more than happy to be that, and wishing you the best for sure.
Yeah, I know this can be a tough time of year for people, and holidays can be hard, but take care of yourself, man. It always gets better, I promise.
All right, let's go here. Was Keith high on the Clippers this year?
Yeah, because he's an idiot. And he doesn't learn his lesson. Yeah, I don't know. Next year when I do it, I'm going to knock them down 3 spots, no matter what they do.
Keith, the Clippers right now are the 12 seed after Memphis's blowout win last night over both teams had a lot of guys out due to injury, but my God, they crushed Sacramento last night, and now the Clippers are sitting in the 12 seed in the Western Conference. They are 4-11 right now. Here's the problem, though. Like right now, OKC is set to get 2 lottery picks, one from the Clippers and another one from the Jazz, whose pick is only top 8 protected. If it was chalk right now, it would be the 10th pick.
Yeah.
So these teams need to figure something out. The Jazz need to lose a bunch more games, and the Clippers, I can't believe I'm saying this, need to start winning a bit more. Otherwise the Thunder are going to get 2 more lottery picks added on top of the treasure trove that I would imagine Sam Presti just polishes the draft picks every single night in his back room.
Yeah, or just stares at him like the
just stares, just a little bit of drool falls out of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
staring at these
King
picks.
and Lord of the Ring, or the Hobbit rather, staring at his treasure, like there, and then he got all greedy, and then the dragon came. I'm a nerd. What can I say? How did OKC get the Jazz pick? What was the deal? I think that might have been the Derek Favors salary dump. Is what gave him that one back in the day. So, yeah, that's if that's what it was, that's oh boy, that's not good, at all on that one. I will say with the Clippers and basically everybody else in the West, they're only a couple games out of 9, so
yeah,
they're not too far out. So it kind of is what it is. I mean, the bottom of the West has not been very good to start the season.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Sounds like the intro to an old video game. Yeah, most people say Mega Man, but I did see somebody in the chat earlier today mention Double Dragon. I'd forgotten all about that game.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That was a good one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to keep calling it the Mega Man music.
Yeah.
Because I like it.
And that was why we liked it. We were like, oh, this is cool. All right, let's go here.
It's surprisingly hard, if people don't know, unless you pay someone to give you write you a song or music. It's surprisingly hard because there's only so much free to use stuff out there.
The song we use is free to use on YouTube. And so that's why I've heard it a few other places at times when I'm watching another video and I'm like, hey, that's our song. It is free to use, but you're right. Yeah. Unless you pay somebody to compose a song for you, which is what we ultimately did for Lakers Nation. The Lakers Nation intro music kept getting flagged because we were using it on Facebook. We're using it all over the place. And so we ultimately said, okay, since we're using it all these different places, we're going to just get music that's ours. And we did that. But for this show, we use it just on YouTube. So it's free to use on YouTube. That it's not technically our song, but I still think of it as our intro music.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, it's our song now. That's how I see it.
And we claimed it. We claimed it. Okay. Who's going to sign sorry, I didn't get to this. Do you think AD can get traded to the Celtics?
Can, yes. Will, no. I don't. It would be a complicated trade. It would almost have to be a 3-team trade. AD obviously makes a ton of money. Boston would have to pile a couple of big salaries into that. I mean, unless you're talking about being okay with giving up, Anthony Simons would be a must just from the salary matching. Unless you're talking about, Derek White can go in that trade too. That gets really difficult. So I don't think that's going to be the way it goes down.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I just don't think it makes that much sense for them to go after him. Who's going to sign Monte Morris?
Nobody.
No, yeah.
I mean, maybe, and I shouldn't say nobody. Nobody immediately. Maybe later when somebody has a point guard injury, he'll resurface again. But he couldn't get. Yeah, Mac McClung. Same thing. Mac McClung actually is now overseas. He went overseas, so he probably next year if he'll come back to stateside. But with Monte Morris, yeah, it's it's gonna take an injury for someone to need a point guard, and right now teams are just kind of plugging along.
Now, Keith, one of the things we should note is that the Clippers, it came out just an hour or so ago, they're going to be applying for a disabled player exception for Bradley Beal.
We have a question about that, actually.
Oh, we do? Okay. I didn't see it. There you go. I don't get why the Clippers applied for it. Their season is already over. Why bother?
Yeah, the season already over part. I mean, we talked about it, right? As bad as it's been, they're only 2 games back of 10th. Or 9th actually in the West. So, why you apply for it, this is an analogy I use all the time, but you want to put tools in your toolbox. If you're going to go and do a job, you want to make sure you have a tool in there just in case you need it. You don't want to get all the way to the job site and be like, man, I should have thrown in that, wrench, and you don't have it. And now you're there. You put tools in your toolbox. Maybe you don't use it. Maybe you do. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, it'll be for about 2.7 million. It's good to use through March 10th. Challenge is they only have about 1.3 million under their hard cap. So we'll see where it goes. What this could be used for, let's say they make a trade and they send out a bunch of money and take back a lot less money. This could be used for a trade or rather a signing, where it is, hey, we can offer a guy more than the minimum. Than what's a prorated minimum, because disabled player exceptions do not prorate. So at 2.7 million, that beats even a prorated minimum today. So when they're able to use it, maybe that's the way it goes.
Right. So you might as well have it. And then if you don't wind up using it, you don't wind up using it. But you're better off having it than not having it. Non-basketball related question, but what's your guys' favorite Thanksgiving food or dish? So I am not a big Thanksgiving food person in general. Like, it's okay. Like, I never find myself in other parts of the year thinking, man, I could really go for some turkey and mashed potatoes right now or something. I know a lot of people are like that, where they love it. I'm just kind of, I don't dislike it, but it's not like a go-to for me either. But I'll tell you what is pumpkin pie. It's like it's my favorite thing for Thanksgiving every year.
I knew you were
pumpkin pie is a must for me.
And I'll answer the question, but let me correct something. I did misspeak. Mac McClung did end up staying in the G League. So he's with the Windy City Bulls, and he had a big game last night, as Jordan calls out in the chat. So thanks for that. I like Thanksgiving leftovers more than Thanksgiving itself. I really like making turkey sandwiches with the leftovers. If I'm gonna pick one thing, my wife makes this really killer corn casserole thing that is just really, really good. So I like that a lot. But yeah, I love Thanksgiving. But I really enjoy the leftovers more because I like making turkey sandwiches with all the stuff.
I like it. It's a good way to look at it, especially because depending on where you are, like if you do Thanksgiving at your house, you're going to have a ton of leftovers. It's always the way it goes when you do the proper and traditional Thanksgiving meal. Charbel said, how do you guys feel about Friedman and Farhan hire? Again, I'll get more in depth into that after this when we go over onto Lakers Nation, but and we get the Dodgers side of it. But as long as they're good decision makers, you want to have smart people in the room. And the Dodgers have been obviously run very well for years now. They are looked at as one of the best run organizations in baseball. Now, the rules in baseball are very, very different than the rules in the NBA. When we look at the cap environment, it's a very different thing. But again, if this is going to add more smart people into the room, you're going to be for it and trust that they can adapt. I also wouldn't assume that they're going to take over decision making or anything like that. It's just, again, adding to what you've already got and hoping you can take some of what has worked for the Dodgers, whether that's just a mentality, if not a strategy, because of how different the two leagues are, then you got to be all for it, and you got to make sure that you build those bridges and make this connection now that you've got the same owner for both teams.
Yeah, somebody's asking like, what's my opinion? Because I'm not obviously going to be on that show with you. You can't just plug guys in and say do your thing. Like you
Right.
called out, there's no salary cap in baseball. I'm but someone who roots for a team that spends a ton of money in baseball, or at least used to. I'm not accusing the Dodgers of buying championships because they've certainly got the right players, but a big chunk of it is they just go out and get guys when they want them, and their payroll is like triple that of other teams, and that's baseball, right? They're not doing anything that isn't allowed, so good for them for investing and doing what they want to do. Basketball works very differently. Obviously, it goes without saying they're very different sports, obviously, but yeah, you put smart guys in the room and let them just kind of say like, hey, here we go. Like it's certainly not going to hurt. My guess is this is more of a, hey, from Mark Walter's side, I'm comfortable with these guys. I'd just like them to be around in some kind of advisory position. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm going to get...
This guy, Celtics did spend way over the cap. You're right. They did, but there's still rules. And but they did that because they did that going in. Before all the second apron rules came in, they loaded up a year ahead of time, and then really went for it. So
and it's not like is it a soft cap in the NBA? Yes, but they are now, especially with the apron system, very restrictive penalties for spending so much money. Whereas in baseball, I mean, you've got Shohei Ohtani's salaries deferred and all these types of things, right? So it's a very, very different system in the two different leagues. And so when we look at spending in the two leagues, most NBA teams now are going to, whether or not they are in fact hard capped at the second apron, most teams will look at the second apron as a de facto hard cap. That's why we only have one team that's over the second apron right now. So it's a very, very different system between the two.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even close. I mean, there's other than the revenue sharing portion of it, there's very little that is even similar there.
All right, let's go here. Mamadou said, with this new CBA, is it's more important that the teams hit on their draft picks? What are some potential 3-and-D players in the upcoming draft? We're so far away from that. I have no idea who's in the upcoming draft that could be a 3-and-D.
Yeah, Mamadou, don't ask this. You already did a super chat and paid us once. Come back and ask in like 2 more weeks, because a big chunk of what I'm going to do in the next week is really start building out my draft board, and I'll have a better answer for you then. I have a good answer right now.
All right, let's go here. Can you see Dallas getting into the LaMelo Ball conversation? There were some rumors. He pushed back a little bit on X after the fact, but some rumors yesterday.
Yeah, he called the reporter a clown.
That's right, from Yahoo saying that he wants to be true. I mean, again, I don't know. Like when a trade report comes out,
something similar too.
Could the Mavs trade for him? I do think that if the Hornets had an opportunity to move him, they would consider it more so than they would have maybe a couple years ago. I think same thing is true with LaMelo Ball. Would he be necessarily crushed if he got traded either? I don't know. Like when somebody pushes back on something like that, I think it's reasonable, looking at the situation and the way it's all gone, that to think that LaMelo probably wouldn't be all that upset if he wound up getting traded somewhere. But could the Mavs get in on that situation? I mean, is the goal then to put Kyrie and LaMelo together? Is that really
that's my thing? Are we forgetting Kyrie? Like, yeah, he's not playing right now, but he'll be back eventually. Kyrie was the one who said, I'm not putting a time on it. So certainly wouldn't be appropriate for me to put a timeline on it. But yeah, weird. I feel like, we're not, like, why are we hell-bent on getting a point guard to Dallas? Like, I don't think that fits very well.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about a stopgap point guard, that's one thing, but the pieces you'd have to give up to go get LaMelo, I don't think, especially if the rumors that they want to stick, even if they move AD, they want to stick with Kyrie are accurate, which I could see why they could make that case. I just don't think they should be a landing spot for like a long-term, high money point guard like LaMelo.
Yeah, I like, and if you're fully rebuilding, it's weird. LaMelo Ball too. I have really realized there's no player in the NBA who has a bigger or wider gap between what fans think he is and what folks in the league think he is.
Mm,
Nobody thinks he stinks. Let's just be very clear about that. But there are some who are like, he doesn't play overly serious and he has never driven winning and he's hurt a lot. But fans see the highlights, which admittedly are awesome, and they just assume he's absolutely incredible at all times. And all I'm going to say is watch an entire Hornets game and come away telling me if you still think he is great, or watch a few, because maybe if you catch him on the wrong night, you'll be like, holy crap,
sure.
yeah, he is. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot in there that it's like, this just isn't good. And
He has
that's
some
where
awesome
it gets
highlights.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely great. But I think he is a good barometer for who's consuming the game through highlights and clips and things on Instagram and TikTok, and who is actually sitting down and watching entire games.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, Cooper Flag and LaMelo together, kind of interesting, but again, that we'd have to just pretend like Kyrie doesn't exist. With all the holes in the Lakers roster, do you realistically think we can build this roster to still stay below the first apron? I mean, they're going to have to stay below the first apron because they're hard capped at it. So it doesn't matter whether or not they're going to stay below. Like, they don't have the choice; they have to. Do they think they can build the roster? Yeah, they'll have to. In terms of adding pieces this season, if that's what you're referring to, they're going to have to do it on the trade market. They don't even have the ability to go sign somebody right now. That's not open to them because they are so close to that first apron. So any types of improvements that they need to address, particularly we've talked a lot about the athleticism on the wing, needing more defensive pieces, not negatively impacting your shooting, which already probably needs some work from the outside. All of those things, you're going to have to do it on the trade front. That's where they're at now. Next summer, they have potentially a ton of flexibility to add pieces and stay below the first apron. But I'm assuming you're talking about in season, and if so, any kind of holes they're going to try to plug, it's going to happen on the trade front. And in order to legally complete a trade, they'll have to stay below that first apron.
Yeah, I'm also going to take issue with all the holes they have. I don't know that they have, like, I mean, dude, they're not perfect, of course. Like, very few teams are even close. I mean, even the Thunder aren't perfect, as scary as that may be. But I don't think they have all kinds of holes or anything. I think they're pretty well rounded. I think they're okay.
They're good. I think the constant question from Lakers fans is, how do we get there though? How do we get to the next? Because we're not good just being here.
Yeah.
You got to get there, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, one, we're talking about what the Thunder are doing is absolutely like historic stuff. I mean, Captain Obvious here, but if they keep doing what they're doing at this rate, they're going to be the greatest team we've ever seen. And it's not even going to be close. Like, they're absolutely dominant in pretty much every phase. Like, I cannot believe how much better defensively they are than everybody else, even the next best team. Like, it's just, it is absolutely crazy.
It's like if you designed a computer program or something to do it, because every decision they have to make defensively, every guy is it's like they're sharing a hive mind or something. Every guy is on the same page. They just don't make mistakes on the defensive side of the ball. And then they don't turn the ball over, and they force a bunch of turnovers. So they enjoy a field goal attempt discrepancy just about every single night. It is insane what they're doing.
Yep. Completely agree.
All right, let's go here. Really like AD in Phoenix. How would a trade like that happen? Do you involve a third team? Well, first of all, I mean, Phoenix already has a bunch of bigs, but maybe you add some of them as part of a trade package to go get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a big number, like, to get there. Let me get to the Suns salary sheet.
I'll put it up on the screen here.
Okay, AD's, I mean, that's $54 million. That's, like, you're talking Jalen Green, probably is your starting point in a move like that. So that's $33 million. I mean, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, I guess, if you're okay with that, or Jalen Green, Grayson Allen, and one of the bigs, that could work too. You're pretty close. But it's just a lot of money to put up there, and they're just over the tax.
Mhm.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of wiggle room under the first apron, so yeah, I don't know.
Is Phoenix now they have been a pleasant surprise so far this year, ultimately and where they currently sit compared to what we expected them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been good enough, do you think, to where they should be in the market to go get a 32-year-old Anthony Davis?
No, I want them to be patient. Just kind of see this through a little bit. Let things continue to clear up on your books. See it through with the guys you have. I think where they got themselves in trouble was trying to fast forward things before. So that part I'm very nervous about if they do that again, especially with an older and injury prone player. That's my issue is not with Anthony Davis talent wise. It's that you're going to give up so much to then have him for half the games, and that's the hard thing. Like, because then you've not only have you given up picks and other things, but you've also given up depth to go get them, and you're going to have to be in a tough spot to kind of work around him being out. Remember, if you're Phoenix, you already have $19 million in dead money on the books anyway for Bradley Beal. So if AD is out, now you're talking that's 73 to $80 million in dead money on your cap sheet if he's not playing. Like that makes it impossible to work around. So I think I would just kind of keep things moving if I'm the Suns. Just stick with what you have. It's pretty good right now, and I think can develop into something even better.
Who should trade for Anthony Davis?
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Right.
It's going to be tough to find a match, right? We talked a little bit about should the Pistons, and we both landed on ultimately no, right? Like I think they're right to take the approach of seeing it through. We've heard Chicago mentioned. I'm not sure Anthony Davis wants to go home. Like it's important, right? We all went to school with that kid who couldn't wait to leave town, like after they graduated and then never came back.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the case with Anthony Davis, but I don't know. The chat's asking, well, we got one right here. Anthony Davis to the Pacers. I don't mind the idea, but again, you're giving up a lot to get him. $54 million is a lot to match and that's tough.
And given the way the Pacers season is gone, would you just basically say, okay, AD, we traded for you. See you in September?
Yeah,
I mean, what do you
probably.
like? They're not going anywhere this year.
Yeah, which I actually don't mind. Like, I don't hate that idea. Because then if you tell me I'm coming back with AD and Tyrese Halliburton as the main engines of my team after that, sure. But you're talking about giving up. You got to get to $54 million, right? Like, I don't want to be a broken
Mhm.
record about it, but that's a big number to match if you don't have another $30 to $40 million number to be the bulk of that.
Yeah. That's where it gets tough. And we also can't forget when we talk AD trades that he is going to be extension eligible. And so you need to know, like, hey, is this something he is expecting? If we go trade for him, is he expecting to get a contract extension next summer? And if so, do we want to be the team to give him that? What number is reasonable? Is he expecting that to be a max extension? What is that going to look like? Because that's just, we don't tend to think of that stuff enough, especially when fans are looking at just salaries and can this trade work? Can that trade work? If you're a front office, you also have to be looking at potential rough waters. And it may be an uncomfortable conversation if AD is expecting a full max salary in an extension next summer, and your team is not ready to be the team to give him that. So that is another, hurdle that would have to be cleared for a team to say, yes, we're going to give up the pieces to go get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah, it would be tough. It would be like that. Yeah, you're committing a lot of money to a player. Guys don't tend to get healthier as they get older. Yeah, we have a handful of examples, but I don't think AD is going to be one of them. And now, I'd completely forgotten because we've barely seen him this year. He's now going to wear goggles for the rest of his career too. And I mean, that should be fine, but it's just like stuff's just starting to pile up for him. And you got to be really careful if you're going to go all in and make a trade like that.
He's 32, but he's an old 32.
Yeah. Yeah. A
If
lot of
that makes
miles
sense.
on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. It's like Indiana Jones. It's not the years, it's the miles.
Mhm.
All right. So this comment said, so like in the event of a CJ
Yeah.
McCollum buyout,
This
what
was
kind of
related
response?
to the Clippers, I think, because it came up right on the heels of talking about the
Okay.
Clippers. But here's the thing: the Clippers are over the apron. So, well,
Mhm.
they're not. They're actually under
They're
the
right
apron.
under in
So,
their
as long
hard
as they
cap.
could fit in McCollum under their hard cap, they'd be okay. Because remember, apron teams can't sign guys in the buyout market that made more than the taxpayer, or excuse me, non-taxpayer MLE, which CJ McCollum makes significantly more. I don't know that he gets bought out. I think there's more likely he gets traded,
Mhm.
or the Wizards may say, you know what, we'd rather have his bird rights in the summertime to use in something. If we wanted to go that route versus just straight buyout. But they're kind of in the mode of much like OKC did, which no surprise, a lot of their front office came from the Thunder. We're bringing these veteran guys, and if it gets to a point where it's like, all right, hey, I'd rather go somewhere and play for a contender, well, they'll work a buyout with them and figure it out.
All right. Could the Grizzlies, Hawks, and Hornets do a point guard swap?
I've seen this
So
thrown out a lot on social media.
it
Yeah,
seems like all these guys need to change the scenery. So who would go where? Like Ja to Atlanta, LaMelo to
the
Memphis,
Grizzlies.
and then Trey
Yeah.
to Charlotte. I mean, I don't know. Like
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to think about it. We just don't really see
just
things like
shuffle them.
this in the league, but it would be kind of fun if it happened. I mean, I do agree. I don't know about Trey Young. That part I'm not fully there. I think he's still. I want to see what it really
Yeah.
looks like with him in the Hawks when he gets back. But yeah, I think we're John Moran. I'm definitely there on needs a fresh start, and then I think we're getting real close on Lamelo.
How would you rank those players in terms of value?
Trey Young significantly ahead of the other two, then Ja, then Lamelo.
So you've got Ja ahead of LaMelo.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you hate LaMelo so much?
I knew you were gonna do that. Um,
Sorry.
he hasn't done anything. He hasn't been healthy, and he's never won anything. John Moran at a very young age drove winning at a very high level for the Grizzlies.
Right. The rim percentage numbers are certainly a concern with Ja, but there's also that idea out there that, well, it's because he wants out of Memphis. Like, if he went to another team, suddenly we would see the old Ja Morant reappear.
I have talked to a lot of people who have shared that sentiment.
All right, let's go here. Warriors stretch is almost done. Do you think they could trade Curry to a contender? No.
If he asks.
If he asks, I guess, but should they like Keith? I want to see someone just stay with their team the entire time.
I don't think he's ever going anywhere. He would have to ask. That's the only way.
Like, if anybody should stay with one team and retire with that team, it's Steph Curry, right?
Yep.
Like he should be a Golden State Warrior. I don't want to do like the weird Hakeem Olajuwon in a Raptors jersey, Patrick Ewing in a Magic jersey. I don't want to do that with Steph. Just be a Golden State Warrior and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The only way is if he asks and says, I want to go. Yeah. And then do right by him and get him somewhere. But I don't think he's going to ask. And I don't think they're even going to think about it.
All right, let's go here. Cap rules are hurting players. Don't think they understood what they agreed to.
True. Yeah, it's not true. Like people keep saying this, I think, because Draymond Green said it, but it's simply not true. Everybody's making more money.
Well, I think what you get, right, is fans are going into the trade machines and they're saying, my team needs to get better. My team needs to tank, or my team needs to do stuff. And they're running into walls, right? Oh, we could do this, but the first apron. We could do that, but the second apron. Oh, this doesn't work now. This trade that used to work now doesn't work, right? And that creates frustration amongst fans. And then that frustration gets projected upon players too. I don't know. I mean, are there situations? And plus, we're seeing, players getting squeezed. The Pelicans traded away Brandon Ingram because they didn't want to be the team to pay him. We're seeing guys that.
But he didn't get squeezed because he got.
No, he got his money. But I mean, teams are more hesitant to pay players. Like there was a time where Brandon Ingram, being a all-star adjacent player would just be, hey, here's your max salary. This is what you get. Guys aren't getting that anymore. Teams playing hardball with Kuminga, with Giddey, with all of that sort of stuff. Teams are being much more careful with contracts too. But that doesn't necessarily mean that players overall are making less money in today's NBA. In fact, they're guaranteed a percentage of the basketball-related income, so they can't make less than they did before.
Yeah, and I would say with the trades too, just keep working at it. Luka got traded. Jimmy Butler got traded. Jimmy Butler got traded to the Warriors, who are extremely expensive already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a trade worked out where Jimmy Butler could have gone to the Suns if the values were right. The values weren't right. That's what killed that off. But yeah, it's like trades get done. They can get done. I can tell you. I mean, it's I'm in there working on stuff all the time to see if ideas work. But it's just, is it harder? Sure, but yeah, I don't think we're. I think people have started to put their. I think you're right. I think their own frustrations are being put on things, and it's like stuff still gets done. I mean, we still had a massive trade season last year.
I've been impressed actually with how adaptable NBA teams have been. They've found ways within the new rules to get stuff done.
They pay a lot of people a lot of money in front offices to figure this stuff out.
All right, let's go here. Lee said, can you explain what NBA EuroLeague is? It's an NBA EuroLeague.
That's it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not trying to be insulting. I appreciate the question, but it's going to be a alternative to EuroLeague, which exists in Europe right now. It's kind of sort of the equivalent to the Champions League in soccer. And then the NBA is creating another like competitor for it. There's never been a competitor for it. And they feel like they can do it better. Some pretty big name teams seem like they agree with the NBA. And I think they'd like to be associated with the NBA. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. There's going to be a new league in Europe, and it's coming probably within about 2 years. We'll start seeing that come together.
All right, Keith, where are you at on Ayo Dosunmu? Feel like Ayo Dosunmu's game is being overlooked by many. You've had some good wins for Chicago. They had a tough stretch, but now they're winning again. Vooch hit the big three the other night, and Chicago, interesting team to watch, I think, so far this season.
Yeah, they're really fun. I think for Ayo specifically, I think if I'm Chicago, I'm trying to get an extension done with him before he gets to free agency. He's the kind of guy who, when teams are sitting around and we're in like day 3 or 4 or 5 of free agency, and they're like, man, like the big guys are off the board, the big trades have happened, and we're still sitting on either our mid-level exception or a large chunk of cap space. Yeah, I would assume he was a good guy. Let's go. Yeah, we'll spend 19, 20 million on him. And, if we can offer that, or we'll offer him our full mid-level and go get him. So I'd be very careful with, if I'm the Bulls, I would be trying very hard to get him locked up to an extension before letting him get to free agency. Because he's just a good player. Whether he starts, comes off the bench, he can play either guard position. Those guys always have a lot of value.
All right, let's go here. Do you guys think they should end fouling up 3 with under 24 seconds left? I think they should. It ruins games. I've been saying for a while, for years now, that I think more teams should do it. And if more teams do it, it's on the league to legislate it out of the game.
Yep. Yeah, it is the absolute smart strategy, and I absolutely hate it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really hard because it's just going to be tough. I have now seen in some other leagues, and we're starting to see this a little bit creep into college basketball. Teams are starting to foul later in games with like under a minute to go. They're up like 8-10 rather than letting it 3-point shot. We shoot free throws, 3, especially if they know they're shooting 1-and-1s, because that can be only 1 point on the trip, or one missed shot and you go. So it's something they're going to have to figure out and work through. It's hard because it really depends on what the penalty is. And then you're putting a lot on the officials to decide, was that intentional or did it just happen? Right. Like that gets a little tricky sometimes too.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's something where they did it as strategy versus just a guy was playing defense and committed a foul, then, and that's again, that's on the officials to try to figure that out. That's going to be difficult. It's an interesting problem for the NBA to address, but it's an important one because ultimately it's the same reason why we were so in favor of the transition take foul rules, because you were taking one of the most exciting things in basketball, a fast break, and you're turning it into one of the least exciting things in basketball, inbounding the ball from the sideline. Same concept here. One of the most iconic moments that happens in a basketball game is the buzzer sounds while the ball's in the air and everybody's holding their breath, right? That's what you want. What you don't want is free throws, because that's what you're turning that moment into when you're fouling up three. That said, strategy-wise, math-wise, as long as you can do it without fouling a three-point shooter like that's in a shooting motion, then you probably should, especially given how good teams are at hitting threes these days. I think it makes even more sense to use the strategy and put them on the line rather than give them the opportunity to tie up the game with a three. So I think it is something, though, that if teams start to do it all the time, you got to get rid of it. You can't take the exciting things out of the NBA.
Yeah, once it becomes everyone does this, then we have to have more of a conversation. Just to go back to our salary cap thing here, teams are more willing to go over the cap before. It's not frustration, it's just facts. Everybody except the Brooklyn Nets is over the cap. If you're saying over the tax, I'm going to counter with no, they weren't. We have all the data, we've done all the studies on this. I've done a ton of work around this. About the same amount of teams pay the tax that have before. It's what we have is now with the second apron and the first apron. If you trigger it, they're just more hard cap triggers. But you're not hurting the middle class guy. What you're doing is you're keeping guys from getting, all right, we're going to give 4 guys max deals and load up our team that way. But again, the money, the pie is all the same. It's actually helped. We've seen more guys get deals that are not minimums, between the minimum and the mid-level, than we ever saw before, because teams are coming out and saying, all right, let's split that up versus let's just give it all to one guy. And also teams are prioritizing depth. So it's just the facts don't play it out. And over the cap almost every year, every team ends up over the cap anyway. So that's, I don't know if you meant to say tax, but it's not there. And then this part is absolutely true. Restricted free agency hurts the players. But the other side, the teams would say, hey, I invested a draft pick in this guy. I invested time in developing this player. I should have some advantage to keeping them. So I don't like restricted free agency very much either, because I don't like anything that just puts a lock on player movement, but it's tough.
It's become more prohibitive than I think it was intended to be when it was created. And that's the issue, because in today's cap environment, teams are so allergic to anything that even smells like bad money, that smells like a negative value contract. Teams have no interest in it. They don't want to risk it. And so it's created an environment where instead of restricted free agency, it's not even really like free agency has become a misnomer. It's an exclusive negotiating period between the team and the player, because no team will touch restricted free agents right now, because the only way to get them is to give them what would be perceived as a bad deal, and nobody wants that. So,
and you have this almost mutual non-aggression pact where teams are like, we're just not going to do it to each other. Right. Yeah. We're not going to force you in even matching an offer sheet anymore. That's, we see so few offer sheets now that it's just tough. It's really hard. So yeah. Right. Why are there only 10 likes with 600 people watching?
Come on, hit that
like button. Like spike. Come on now. I'm going to get a button that says like spike, like the streamers do, and just start hammering it.
There you go. We'll get you something. Keith, what have you thought of Neemias Queta so far? Is he good enough to be a starting center moving forward? So in a Jason Tatum returns and the Celtics are going for it again, is he good enough to be the guy?
Yeah, maybe. I want to see what he looks like with better players around him who can set him up a little bit better. Give him this is going to sound weird. He may do more when he has to do less. Right now, he has the ball a lot more than I think they'd like, because guys aren't there. But he's proven to be a better player than I ever thought he would be. He's just got to quit with the fouling. That's the single biggest thing that holds him back. He's getting better at it, but he's still, there's times when he commits these, he'll commit, it's like the worst foul. It's the one I hate the most is committing a foul 40 feet from the basket
Yeah.
when you're a center for no reason. Like it's just a bad play. The only one I hate more is like the frustration foul when you grab a guy, like after you miss a shot and they get a rebound and you grab them. Like that just, drives me nuts. But yeah, it's those ones, but he's gotten better at those as well. I mean, he's proven to be a pretty solid guy.
All right, let's go here. The way McCain looks so far, is he on the block to get the 76ers an upgrade at power forward?
Time.
Yeah,
you got to give him time. Like
patience.
He just got back.
Patience.
Yeah, he's in his year 2. I don't think they're gonna just give him away by any means.
Do you see Tyler Hero adapting to the Heat's new offense? He's a pretty dominant pick and roll guy. Curious to see how he adapts. I wonder if he ends up as a trade asset. Also, sorry for being born in August, Trevor.
What does that mean?
I've talked about, the only thing I can think is I've talked about how August is one of my least favorite
you like
months.
hate August?
Yeah, and September because there's no NBA, and that's really like the dog days of the summer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, the Heat question is a good one. Eric Spoelstra has asked this directly himself, and he was pretty much said he thinks it'll be okay. Eric Spoelstra knows a hell of a lot more about this stuff than I do, so I'm gonna trust him that if he says Tyler Hero will be okay. I think Tyler Hero is a pretty adaptable guy. If we remember early Tyler Hero, he didn't have the ball a lot, running a bunch of pick and roll. He played off of other guys. He was a dribble drive guy. I think they can get back to that. And if anybody wonders what we're talking about is the Heat went from one of the heaviest screen-based teams in the league, whether it be straight pick and rolls or it'd be things like dribble handoffs, plays like that, to they run now the fewest.
I happen to have it up right now here. I was using it for something I was doing for Lakers earlier.
Wild.
Look at the gap at the bottom. Yeah. That's the frequency of pick and rolls that they're running.
Crazy.
Look at the gap between Miami and the next lowest, which is Utah.
Yeah. It is insane. Nuts. They are running a very much a motion-based cut drive offense. That's part of why Norman Powell has looked so good. Norman Powell is a good player, but he really does well in that because Norman Powell is a catch and go north-south drive guy who makes really good decisions, whether it be shoot, pass, or keep it moving. I'm very curious to see what Tyler Hero looks like in this offense as well. But I think he's got a chance to be pretty good in it too, because he's less of a drive all the way to the rim guy, but he has one of the better pull-ups in the league. So I think you may see him drive and hit 15 and pull up and those kind of things. Mid-rangers are quietly starting to come back a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I think his teams have really, now fully adapted to, we got to close out to the arc and cut this stuff off.
I talked about this a little bit on the Lakers Nation podcast I recorded last night, went live this morning, that the Lakers have been a very high volume and high percentage mid-range team, and that you kind of knew that at some point this was coming, that defenses are all schemed to not give up shots at the rim and threes, which is what offenses are schemed to try to generate, is shots at the rim and threes. But really the goal is it's not that those shots are inherently just superior to all the other shots. It all depends on the frequency at which you can make those shots. And so with teams schemed to try to stop those types of shots, if you can be a very high percentage mid-range team and take advantage of defenses being taught to give up those looks, you can capitalize on the way defenses are run right now. It all comes down to efficiency. That's what it is. If you're shooting a very high percentage on mid-range shots, that shot may end up being, particularly if it's wide open, just as valuable to you as, say, a 5-foot shot that's heavily contested. So if you get really good at that, that's something that can be exploited with the way defenses are run right now. And we have started to see teams go more towards those, but they have to be able to convert on that at a very high rate.
Yeah, without a doubt. I really like the idea with, like I always said, Kevin Durant taking a 17-foot pull-up in no world is ever a bad shot. because it's
Yeah.
going to go in at such a high rate. We don't want to get so overly focused on we have to take threes that it is there. So yeah, and then the other factor with the Heat is they're just playing a lot faster. But I think that is getting talked almost too much and not enough about the half court offensive changes they've made. I mean, and it is crazy. Like, you can't overstate how crazy it is to go from the heaviest volume pick and roll team to the lightest
That's
and
crazy.
lightest, like you said, by like leaps and bounds. It is really, really, something else.
All right, let's go here. Can an NBA team call up a player from EuroLeague? We don't know what that's going to look like just yet.
We don't know what the rules will be yet. If it works similar, my thought is they'll all be NBA free agents, but they're not in the G League when you sign. So this is a misconception, and we're all guilty of it, myself included, of saying like Mac McClung signed with the Windy City Bulls. You sign with the G League itself, and then you are assigned to a team. Whether the team claims you or they had returning player rights, affiliate player rights, somehow the team gets you. So that's the difference. When you're signed to a G League contract, it specifically says you can leave for an NBA contract. Mm-hmm. And then most of them also say you can leave for like European contract or whatever. We don't know what the EuroLeague, NBA Europe will be. I'm going to be very clear. Guys may have actual NBA outs just like they do in Europe today. Or we may see it be, no, if you're there until they waive you or whatever.
Yeah, it all depends on how the NBA wants to structure that, but we're not far enough along to know how that's going to play out just yet. Keith, would love to hear your thoughts on the Raptors, their rise in the East, Scotty finally matching his potential, Mamu finding his home, Shed breaking out. Bontemps had something today where he mentioned how healthy the Raptors have been compared to just about everybody else, and that being a factor. I don't want to dismiss what they've done, but it is worth noting that they've basically had all of their top guys for the season.
Yeah, I think their schedule hasn't been too difficult yet, but again, you play who you play. This isn't college. You don't make your own schedule.
And they're the 2 seed, right? You're not, I mean, just by having everybody healthy is not going to turn what they were last year into the 2 seed this year. Like, they have definitely improved.
Well, you've got it up on the screen. Yeah, they've played twice as many road games as home games. So that's also good that you're winning at this big of a clip there. So, have they had the toughest schedule? Is that true? I'd have to go back and look. And I might be still thinking where teams are at coming into the season versus where teams have actually played. So that's always a tricky part of that. But yeah, I mean, this Raptors team is weird, but I think Emmanuel Quickly's gotten going and is starting to play a little bit better. I think RJ Barrett now kind of playing in a position where it is like, you just be a good third and fourth guy. Like, we don't need more than that. And he can be a connector. I think he's kind of he's overpaid for that role, but he's kind of found his ideal role in that. Their bench has been productive. Jamal Shed is, I mean, the absolute bulldog on defense. Like, good luck getting any scores on that. I love Mamu. Like, he has been really productive as effectively their backup center. Like, it is a really fun team in Toronto.
I mean, they've played the Cavs twice. Now, was it the full strength Cavs? No, but they got 2 wins over the Cavs. They played the Bucks. They played the Bucks twice. They played San Antonio. You don't see Philly a lot twice. Of what's that?
Philly twice, Atlanta twice. So yeah,
what you don't see a lot of. There's one game against Houston. What you don't see a lot of is OKC, Denver, Houston. There's one game against Houston. And that's it. But the wins over the Cavs, I think, are big in the Eastern Conference. You played Milwaukee a couple of times, so is it the most difficult schedule? No, but it's also not, I think, a super light schedule either. I don't know what it ultimately breaks down to be in terms of a difficult schedule or a light schedule, what the numbers say on it. But just looking at it, it doesn't strike me as the most difficult schedule either. I would say it's probably somewhere middle of the pack or something like that.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Let's see. I'm just using the Basketball Reference version.
They have the 23rd most difficult remaining schedule, by the way.
Yeah, and they say 10th hardest schedule to date on Basketball Reference.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, sure. It doesn't matter to me, really. they're 10-5 and they're playing really well. So, I don't think they're the second best team in the East, but anybody can be fourth in the East. So good on them. I think they've got as good a chance as anybody. You just got to stay healthy. That's the big thing.
All right. Toko said it's one game, but Rui looked out of place. If it ends with him moving to the bench, might as well trade him at that point as his production goes way down. I mean, does it?
It's the last part I'm shaking my head at.
Go for the Herb Jones trade ASAP for chemistry. Oh, sure. If you go get Herb Jones, absolutely go get Herb Jones.
You're not getting him for Rui Hachimura.
No, you'd have to obviously add stuff to Rui Hachimura to go get Herb Jones. But as far as Rui out of place, I talked about it on Lakers Collective. I think Marcus Smart makes more sense in the starting lineup, just given the defensive roles of the guys that are out there. Rui does some head scratching stuff, particularly off ball defensively. That said, he's literally been one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA this season. I think he's number 3 in 3-point percentage right now at 48%. And that's the hard part with him, because you've got the defensive concerns. He needs to be better rebounding for a dude who's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. But at the same token, you want guys around Luka, LeBron, Austin, that when defenses are sucked into the paint and are focused on those guys, they're going to burn them. They're going to knock down those resulting open looks. And Rui is literally one of the best in the NBA doing that. So it's this hard balance to strike with trying to figure out who should start. I'm on the side of Marcus Smart. I think you can schedule things or figure out your rotation in a way that Smart could still get the lion's share of the minutes, even without starting, since Rui heading into free agency, maybe starting is something that does matter to him. He has talked about that too in the past. But I'm with you ultimately. I think they should start Marcus Smart. And if a opportunity to trade Rui Hachimura comes along and it's the right move, you don't just trade him to trade him because he's too good for that. But if it's the right move, you have to consider it. And he is extension eligible all the way till the end of June. So that'll be something to watch too. I don't know which way this is going to go ultimately with Rui, but I think he should be coming off the bench, or at the very least, the lion's share of the minutes with that starting group should go to Smart.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add there other than I think it gives you another ball handler on the floor. You can always use more ball handling. I think in games, if Gabe Vincent isn't available and you need Smart to be the backup guard coming off the bench, then I'm okay with that. But yeah, Rui Hachimura is fine, right? He's a perfectly fine player. And that's like, people take that as insulting, but it's not. Like, he's just a good rotation player, and I think he's paid fine for what he is. I think he's productive for what he's paid. I don't know. Not everybody can score 20 points per game. Yeah, you probably want him to rebound a little bit better. I also like Smart just because it gives you one more guy who can defend guards. Well, they don't have guard defenders.
That's it. And that's where the challenge, like, if you're moving, like, Dalton Connect has not been super productive so far. If you're moving Dalton Connect and you're getting a productive player, that's one thing. But with a guy like Rui, he's productive. It may not be exactly what you need across all facets. Like, could your team get better if you replace what he does with something else? Maybe. But you got to be careful because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So that's the challenge with Rui.
Also, you got to be careful with Marcus Smart that you don't overexpose him. We've talked about this before. He plays one way, 100% all out. And if you play him too many minutes, you're going to end up not having him at all, or you're going to have this broken version that just isn't helpful. So if JJ Redick feels like the best way for me to get the most out of Marcus Smart night after night is bring him off the bench, then that just trust him. And here's the thing, almost doesn't really matter who starts. It's who's on the court during the important moments. That's far more what I care about. The Lakers are too good to be worrying about who starts. You need to worry about who's on the floor in clutch moments at the end of tight games.
All right, let's go here. If you guys could coach GM any team as a duo, excluding LA or Boston, who would it be? Always got to listen to Front Office Fridays at work. Love you guys. Well, thanks for being here. I mean, would we just take the Thunder?
Yeah, right. Yeah, just take the Thunder and be like, thanks. You did all of the hard work for me, and now I can hang out. I also get an A on this group project.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
but
know,
like
Orlando.
taking the Thunder out of it, let's say it has to be a team that is not not among the favorites to win right now, like the contender tier.
Well, I was gonna say Orlando because then I don't have to move. But I don't know. Always wanted to live in Portland.
I was
Like,
gonna say the Blazers.
yeah,
I think they'd be kind of a fun team.
yeah, I think so too. I like the idea too. It's like the city's team, right? Like it's the
Yeah,
one team in the city. But my real
right.
answer to this is,
Except for the Timbers.
well, I know they have. I mean, of the big four
Okay.
sports, they've got because it's the same way here. Like, yeah, we only have the Magic, but we also have City and the Orlando Pride, who are pretty good. So, but my real answer to this is Seattle when they get a team. Like, I would like to. I just think it would be really cool to be a part of an expansion team.
That would be cool. That would be fun. That'd be fun.
And I would not want to coach. I'm not.
You guys would not like the weather in Portland. Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
we probably
maybe.
would get tired of the weather.
Yeah,
if we're just thinking of weather, but we can't do the Lakers, and I'm not going to do the Clippers because that would be
stay here. I'd stay right where I am.
You'd stay in Orlando, or we'd go to Miami, one or the other.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, or Phoenix. I guess is.
I guess Charlotte wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. Charlotte, Atlanta. I don't know.
Atlanta.
Now we're like half the league in. My real answer is whoever will pay me. Like that's my real answer. But it would not be to coach. I would not be even remotely qualified to coach like anything beyond a biddy league team at this point.
Let's go here. Would you get Vucevic for the Lakers? No. And not that he's a bad player at all. I just don't think he fits what they need right now.
I think Ayton is better for them than for what they need. And you're not bringing Vuce in as a backup. So, and they certainly can't play together. So I think you'd be in a better place to spend your assets elsewhere. I guess is the best way to put that.
And Vegas odds Magic replaces Pelinka in 2026 rising.
God.
I don't think that was not just a bad fit for the Lakers with Magic and the decision making and all of that. That was a bad fit for Magic. Magic couldn't really be because he wants to talk to everybody all the time. And you can't do that if you're the GM of a team. That was not an ideal fit for Magic Johnson, just as it wasn't an ideal fit for the Lakers. I just can't imagine them going back down that road.
Yeah. We missed one. Do you think OKC could grab Kuminga? I mean, they could, they won't.
In theory, you could replace that name with any name.
True, but it doesn't make sense for them. They're just going to roll on with what they have, maybe small moves around the edges.
All right, let's go here. Isham said, do any other NBA teams do what the Pistons do and pass around the WWE themed belt after wins? I haven't seen it. That's been a thing from way back in the day with the Pistons, though, with the belt.
I don't know. They were doing that. Remember Ben Wallace bought all the Pistons belts back in the day. But I don't know. Somebody does a chain. Somebody does some kind of chain. I know that because I saw they were talking about it the other day. But all those things I love stuff like that. It's all silly, but it's all really fun.
But it's fun.
It's all it's fun stuff. I like the OKC guys all dumping the towel on the sideline reporter's head at the end of a home game when he's doing the on-court interview. I think that's a lot of fun. I like them all doing the stuff together, right? They give me more of that kind of stuff because it's all silly, but it's supposed to be fun, right? And if this is what they need to have some fun, let's go.
I don't know if you've seen the Cavs with Jared Allen and my former Lakers Nation colleague Serena Winters, who does the sideline reporting for the Cavs now. She does a fist bump with Jared Allen before every game, and now she's gotten they're so in sync with it now. She can do a blind fist bump where she's doing her stand up.
Yeah, and she's talking in the warm up line.
Yep, and he's in the warm up line, and he comes over and she just continues on talking, and boom, fist bumps and off they go. That's a cool tradition. What is it? Well, lighting the beam was fun for Sacramento when they were good.
Lighting the beam was a lot of fun. Absolutely, yeah. Without a doubt, stuff like that is great.
All right, 4 different Laker trades. I hope they make. Nope, none of those are happening. I'm sorry. But but none of those. Like Dalton Connect
I
for
wouldn't
Keon
do
Ellis.
Vando
I
for
would.
Highsmith either.
Yeah,
Highsmith, we
and
don't even know if
Vando's
he's
got
going
too
to be
many
able to
years left
play.
on his contract.
Yeah.
That's just not. Yeah.
We just
I
don't
don't
even
think.
know if he's going to be able to play either. So
Right. Right. Sorry. I would love if there were ways to make these deals happen, but I can't see any of those teams going for that.
yeah, I know the office is a little plain right now. I'm working on it, guys. Give me time. We're going to go through some iterations here. There's going to be some holiday decorations coming, but I think Michael needs to be careful with playing googly moogly or whatever he says.
Well, and he did the Chris Rock routine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and he's not he did that. Do you know that one's like not in rotation on a lot of channels anymore?
Really?
But like, yeah, if you watch, like you can watch it and then like it starts over like with the pilot and goes all the way through. Yeah, they usually skip Diversity Day.
Really?
The Dream Team poster will be back. I promise. It'll come back. I've got to move all that other stuff. The problem is we've got stuff everywhere right now. Like if you could see off camera in here, it's a disaster. Like it's a mess. It's
I am not moving, and it's the same here. So,
I pulled down that question and I forget what it was. I'll try to find it. That was my fault.
All right, let's go. It's this one. Is Lonzo playing well enough for Garland to be on the block?
No, and he can't play back-to-back games, and he can't play more than like 25 minutes. Good on Lonzo. Like I'm not like no criticism there. Just let's keep Garland. Like you're not moving Garland because of Lonzo.
All right, and we'll finish with this. Who would be each of your current MIP pick?
Oh, geez.
I think mine. I think mine might be Jalen Duren. He's been fantastic.
Let me give you 3 versions of like similar names. I just realized Jalen Duren, Jalen Johnson, and Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels has been freaking awesome. He's shooting 52% from 3.
Good Lord.
Like on like 4 or 5 attempts per game and still playing lights out defense. So yeah, I'm big time for him. Like
Sengun, yep, that's another one. The
Sengun's up there.
There's a bunch of guys that we can.
Yeah, the challenge with Sengun was he was an all-star already last year.
Right.
Doesn't mean he can't win it. Like AJ Mitchell, that's a great shout. Ryan Rollins, another good one. Yeah, those are really good ones. Quinn Grimes, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of doing what he did last year. Austin Reeves, I mean, maybe-ish. I think the problem with Austin Reeves is he's going to have to like kind of keep going at the like big numbers, and I don't think that's going to happen because he's already kind of established.
When guys are healthy, it's harder to do that. Yeah.
D-Rock says we missed the Super. We did. Cam Thomas, 6th man of the year, will get more money. He doesn't even he starts. How's he going to win?
Yeah.
D-Rock, how's he going to win 6th man of the year? Now he's not even playing. So you got to explain that to me, my man.
LeBron James for most improved player if he stops ball hogging. Like we're just trying to come up with stuff to take credit away from LeBron. Now the dude just had 12 assists in his only game so far this year.
Yeah. Avdi is playing great on the Blazers. Yeah, he absolutely is.
Yep.
He's playing really, really well. Yes, Jordy should probably bring Cam Thomas off the bench. I mean, I'm on the record saying that's what I think his best role will be on a contender, and we'll go there. So
I also understand why he would not want that to be his role.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right.
All right, everybody.
We're into the point where people are making fun of LeBron. We're
it's time to go. We appreciate all of you. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.